But there's always going to be mistakes. I think that's what people... I mean, I get it. Being frustrated with the referees, especially if you're fans of those respective teams. But I love what Roger said, because it's, you read the headline and you see he said, I don't think it's ever been better. And you're like, what? But the more you read into it, and if you go watch, he mentions how, like you mentioned, replay and them being able to go in slow-mo, relook at calls. And again, it'll never be perfect. And he even said that. We'll never be perfect. Are we going to try to be better? Of course. But there's a human element. And that's always what it's going to be across really all sports.
I mean, let me ask you guys this, okay? Can we all agree there's probably a hold on every play in the NFL? Is that fair?
Oh,
so would you prefer a
hold.
robot up in the booth to process what's going on and throw a flag every single play?
Taylor Decker went on Pardon My Take and said, I probably have a false start 60% of the snaps. He goes, but they just don't call it. And they laughed about it. Like
Lane Johnson. What, didn't I tell you this like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Dude looks like he's jumping off early, and nobody says anything.
Yeah.
Either he's spot on with the cadence, but my goodness, man. My goodness.
So, like, that's going to happen. So, there's two ways to look at this. One side, I get the frustration with the referees on some calls. I mean, you could go back to even the Saints-Rams game in the NFC title game, when that PI call that was never called, and they had to implement a review system, and which was kind of a disaster. There is a lot of emotion involved in these games, invested in these games. But at the end of the day, the referees are human. Like the Devontae Smith catch against the 49ers, that wasn't a catch, but again, that's Kyle Shanahan's job. You got to review that. Like, you got to throw a challenge flag on that. You can't always blame the refs. Like, you had an opportunity. The Eagles ran a play quickly. That's it. It's over with. So, I mean, I get it. There's always going to be a human element. I know it's different because we're not fans. We don't cover these teams. So if it was the Lions in that position, like the PI call against Dallas, that wasn't a PI call.
You know what? Tough shit, man.
But that's what happens. You had time after that, and
I've seen dynasties
you didn't capitalize.
Start and end on officiating.
Bad boys. The phantom call. Bill Laimbeer did not foul Kareem, but hey, what are you going to do?
Tom Brady, Charles Woodson.
If
it's part of the game.
That foul didn't happen.
Armando Galarraga. Part of the game. Just got to live with it sometimes. Whether it's right or wrong. That's at least how I feel about all this. That's how I feel. I like the automatic reviews under 2 minutes. I like a lot of the changes they've made. I think the additional official has helped. But at the end of the day, guys, you're never going to be happy with officiating, because when the moment is the brightest, you're going to want a specific call if it doesn't go your way.
Right.
How about you execute the play instead of crying for defensive holding or pass interference? Execute the play.